Hello, I'm Dr. Vanita Rattan, and this channel is dedicated to skincare for skin of colour. As you know, I'm a doctor, but I'm also a cosmetic formulator specifically for skin of colour. So today's video is all about false or unregulated marketing terms. I've started my YouTube channel properly, I think about just over 12 months ago. And the reason for starting it was just realizing how much marketing was out there that people fell for. So, you know, for example, if a product said anti-aging, you would assume the product had ingredients in it that were for anti-aging. It's only when I started doing investigations into brands, until date I've done hundreds of brands globally. Often what's on the front is not tallying up with what's on the back. And so this is why we created this channel, because I want to create Dr. V Inky Hackers. Inky, it stands for INCI, stands for the ingredients at the back of any packaging. I want you to be able to read those ingredients, to understand what it means, and then to look at the marketing and think to yourself, does this tally up? Does this have actually antioxidants in it? Does it have anti-aging ingredients in it or not? Is it just a moisturizer? So if you've watched 10 of my videos or more at this point, you would be a Dr. V Inky Hacker. We have certain traits. Number one, you're able to read the majority of the ingredients at the back of your packaging. Number two, you tend to be more scientific and logical thinkers. Number three, you have the best skin of your life and you have not wasted any money. And number four, you tend to want to help those around you actually. This is something that I've noticed is our tribe of people, our Dr. V Inky Hackers, really want to pass on the knowledge and don't want their loved ones and friends and family making the same mistakes that they had made. And this is the reason I created this channel actually, so that our whole family, our global family, has the access to the best skincare. And more than us, honestly, is for our babies, is that our children have the best access. Being a mother myself, you know, everything I do is for my children, and I'm sure you, if you're a parent yourself, you will feel the exact same way. So as you know, nothing on this channel has ever been sponsored. It will never be sponsored. This is a resource for all of us to come and research whether or not a product is worth your hard-earned money or not. If that sounds good to you, let's dive right in. Okay, so starting off with the term non-comedogenic. Non-comedogenic should mean doesn't clog the pores. However, I have investigated many creams that say non-comedogenic and actually contain comedogenic ingredients in them. In fact, I've done a whole YouTube video based on this. Now, I fully understand it's not just about ingredients, it's also about how you formulate the product. Being a formulator myself, if I was to create a non-comedogenic moisturizer, I would first start thinking which are the best humectants that would work in a light gel formula, and I may also include things like niacinamide and other ingredients which control sebum. That to me is a non-comedogenic moisturizer, because your purpose should be clear based on your ingredients. Just to create a moisturizer and then call it non-comedogenic is not ideal for me, and it is something that I do tend to call out. So it's a non-regulated term. So for example, in the UK and EU, all products that we manufacture here, so for example the Dark Circles kit that I manufactured in the UK, we can't test this on animals. Everything that we manufacture is cruelty free. Whereas in other parts of the world, they test a product on rabbits or animals, usually behind the ear, and to test whether it's comedogenic or not. Here, what we have to do actually is we do human clinical trials. So for example, I'm launching Inzincable, a mineral sunscreen for skin of color SPF50 in the next few weeks. And I had to run clinical trials on it. I did it on 51 candidates to see whether or not you would break out or not. That's how we had to assess it. And there's an 80% threshold. If you pass, then you can be classed as non-comedogenic. However, that's just me going above and beyond. Honestly, I didn't even need to do that trial. I didn't even need to put my money to do that trial. And most people don't. You can literally just write that on the packaging, and it's an unregulated term. So it's just important that you know that, just so that you're aware. Moving on to the next one, which is maximum strength or professional strength. Okay, so this again doesn't mean anything. The reason we would say this is because it gives the impression that it's the best, but there's no standard, there's no test to say, okay, you can use that phrase and you can't use that phrase. So it's an unregulated term. In addition, if it says doctor approved or made by a doctor, including my products, all my products are made by me and has Dr. Vanita Rattan on it, it doesn't mean anything. Just because I'm a doctor and I put doctor on there, it doesn't mean anything. It has no bearing on percentage actives, has no bearing on efficacy. So it's also important to be aware of that. This is why I want our family to become Dr. V Inky hackers. I want you to be able to read the back of the ingredients list and not fall for, dermatologist approved or, those sorts of terms, basically. I feel like I'm going to get so many angry emails after this video. I might not even release this video. The next one is anti-aging. So you would assume that if a product had the word anti-aging on it, that it had anti-aging ingredients in it. And I was shocked when I reviewed and investigated a very well-known, expensive high street brand that said they had this anti-aging cream, which was a bestseller. And I looked at the ingredients and I couldn't believe there were no vitamin A, no peptides, no ceramides, no skin replenishers, they had humectants in it, had glycerin in it. It had nothing to boost collagen, it had no anti-aging ingredients in it. Instead, it was a moisturizer filled with fragrance, the #1 cause of contact dermatitis. So why would you add that to dry aging skin, which is trying to repair itself? Ugh, just terrible. So it's basically another reason I started this channel. So just because it says anti-aging really doesn't mean anything. The other one that I've seen that's so funny is chemical free. Is that like what? Everything is a chemical, including water. So that's just a lie. I think we get so hung up on free from this and free from that we start saying free from the wrong things. I've seen preservative free, for example, like run in the opposite direction when you see that. Paraben free is the other one. Parabens are the best preservative that cause the least amount of contact dermatitis. So, sometimes we do get a bit carried away with free from. And the last term I'm going to talk about is the word hypoallergenic. So again, it's an unregulated term. And in fact, I purchased a body wash, which I used, and it was in this boring packaging that I assumed was medical. And even I fall for it. Even I don't have time to sit there and read the inky list of products that I'm using myself. And it's only when I was naked in the shower reading the inky list thinking, this is not hypoallergenic. So it's just another unregulated term. And if I can fall for it, then so can everybody else. And again, this is the reason why I want you to be more vigilant than me and actually read the inky list. Can you write down below for me any products that you've purchased that you fell for the marketing and it didn't have the ingredients in it that you thought it would have? And can you also write down below for me if you're a Dr. V Inky hacker? I want to know how many of you watch more than 10 of my videos and are able to analyze your own products and are helping your friends and family to do the same, because I just want to know how big our community is. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at the Hyperpigmentation Clinic and Skincare by Dr. V, and on TikTok, Dr. Vanita Rattan. I'll see you again next week.